a pleasure to speak with you and present my short film. My short film is Death at Dawn. It's based in a real asset. It's okay.
Based, yes.
Based in a real letter in the soldier in the First World War, and I don't know. It's okay.
So, how did you get to this letter? Was it always something you were looking to make a film about this topic, or was it a coincidence that you made the film?
Yes, it's all the it's different circumstances. It's a bit by chance. For the first is the location. It's by chance, and the letter too is una casualitat.
It was all a coincidence to find this and the letter too. Preguntava com vas trobar la carta.
Per casualitat. Estava llegint coses sobre la guerra I la vaig trobar.
So she was reading things about the war because we have a family that was in it, and she found the letter, and it just like struck something in her to kind of do something with this.
And for the location, a friend of me asked me to make photographies because she wants sell the apartment. And when I show this apartment, I think it's not possible. It's a very good place to make something. And in this moment, the letter was in my head.
Yes.
And I normally I made a video dance, and I want a place for a new video dance. And the letter, the location, and the video dance, in a moment, it was a revelation when I show this apartment.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Yes,
you can feel it in the film that it really comes together, how she performs, and it's very harmonic with the room, I would say. Yeah, so I can imagine that it was for you. It was just there, and yeah. Yes. Okay. What was your personal motivation to make this film? You said because of your family,
Yes. Okay, my mother is French, and I have a dual Spanish-French nationality. I was born in Barcelona. My grandparents have always lived in France, and we used to go to her house every summer. And my mother tongue is French. Well, when I was child at home, we spoke three languages: French with my mother, Spanish with my father, and Catalan with my grandparents. Yes. And yes, but I'm dual Spanish, French nationality. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
And my grandfather was in the First World War in the trench of Verdun. Verdun. Yes. And he was charged to the maintenance in the trench. He was in charge of the carrying to the food and taking and bringing the letter to the soldiers.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
With her
The horse.
horse.
He was
Yes.
a messenger.
Yes, the messenger. And I think it's a lot of connections with this history and the letter and the situation with my family history. Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you. That's very
It's a
interesting to hear.
Spanish film, but it's not really Spanish. It's a
It
little.
has a boat.
Yes.
It has certainly French influences.
Yes.
You can
Yes,
say.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. And how do you feel your country and maybe also other historical interested people in your country, did they support you to make this film? Did you talk with someone outside of your family or your film crew as well about it?
No, no real. It's for example, in Spain now están saliendo también fusilados para dar ejemplo de la guerra civil.
Right. So there's been cases in the Civil War, the Civil War in Spain, that they also had like shot to set an example. And just now, like 18 years later, I think that they've started to like put a light on this situation. So it's very unknown, all of these stories in both France and Spain.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, because the topic is very interesting and a very different part to look at what happened
Yes.
at the war, and therefore, yeah, it was very interesting also to hear how you found this topic or why you wanted to make this film. So, did your grandfather probably also tell you about what happened?
Yes. My grandfather write his memories, and he talk about this situation, and it's very interesting, the memory of my grandfather. Yes.
I say the story anecdote you always tell us. That I didn't know him, like we didn't share time together, but my mom and grandmother always tells us the story of like the horse that the grandfather thinks it had a special like power or something, because he was always with the horse in the trenches and all the like bombs and stuff and blah blah blah, and the horse he thinks was special something because he was always avoiding these bombs and he knew when something bad was going to happen. And he always tells us about how he was a postman, and maybe that saved him, because in the trenches he wouldn't have lived, but he had the chance to go around and this horse helped him, so he lived.
See, and she speak about the German trench is very near the French trench, and in the night the French speak and cantaban and singing. Sing with the German, and never se disparaban, no se disparaban. No.
They didn't shot at each other. They just wanted to get like a few meters more, but they didn't shot to the people in the other trench.
Porque se conocían de hablarse.
Yes, because they were always talking, and it wasn't like shouting at people, it was just like trying to get more meters, but they knew each other from the nights and singing all together and blah blah blah.
Yes. Yes.
I assume the film was already shown in Spain and in France as well.
In Spain, no, aún no. But in French, it's a very taboo subject. Yes, for example, I sent it to more 80 festival and nothing. And when I show it, my show to my French friends, they all tell me that they didn't know anything about this subject.
Yeah.
It's a very taboo subject.
Yeah.
Hasta is.
Until now,
the history festival.
Maybe you would like to explain just a little bit for the people who haven't seen the film yet about this very sensitive topic you worked on.
¿Quién es el tema?
I think the topic is I want to honorate the women's in this history.
Crec que vol que li expliquis lo de què vol dir set to an example.
Okay. Set an example is los soldados que desertaban. Serien cogidos, eren afusellats, per donar exemple, i que els altres no ho fessin.
So when soldiers were just like, they had enough about the war and stuff, and they would desert, I think. It just like they left the military, but most of the time they were found in the way to get out. And to set an example to other soldiers, so they didn't do the same, they were shot like publicly and shamefully, like they were like exhibit in like with this being assassinated. And this is like the shot to set an example. And the weird thing is that it happened like inside the same military that we used to idolize. Like, yes, the French military was very good and they saved us from the Hitler and stuff, but they also had bad things inside.
Yeah, thank you. And I might already say that you also mentioned in the film that many countries did this, and this is very interesting. And as you said, it's you hardly hear about this, and therefore I found it very brave that you took this topic and to also to tell this part of a war.
Yes, I think it's a very universal letter. This letter it's represent a lot of soldiers in a lot of countries, in a lot of wars, in different dates. And unfortunately it's very actuality.
Yes.
It's, I think now in most than country, exist actuality. Yes. It's
in all the wars we have now, it also happens to be shot to set an example. And
yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, and it's also sad to hear. Of course, we do not know why the festivals didn't choose you, but also sad to hear that you tried to submit to so many festivals and that. However, they made the decision, but it was not selected because I'd say it's you made it in a the art you used, how to make it, and also this sensibility you used with the voice and with the actress and with the room. This was really interesting, and so that is really surprising that that they didn't select you. Yeah, but we are very happy to have you in the festival. I hope many people will see it because it's a very interesting topic, and you did it in a very interesting way as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the subject, the topic, it's a taboo. For example, la directora d'un festival em va trucar plorant, que li havia emocionat molt, però que no el podia seleccionar perquè tindria problemes al seu poble.
So the director of one of these festivals that had to reject the short,
Va trucar plorant.
He called like just crying because she was like really moved, and she was like really moved, and she thought that it was extraordinary to treat this topic, but she couldn't select it because then she would have problems in her hometown, like from these little hometowns in France that it's all military. She wouldn't have problems in her hometown.
Yes, and in French now, després de que els van rehabilitar, en alguns pobles van fer votar les persones per veure si volien que s'incloguessin en el monument als morts. I en un dels pobles que jo sé que van votar va sortir que no s'incloguessin.
So when the war finished,
no, l'any passat els van rehabilitar.
When last year they were rehabilitated, like reaccepted into the military and to be like, yeah, you also fought in the war. In a lot of towns in France, there's like a memorial for deaf people in the war and the two world wars. And in a lot of them, they voted to include them or not. And one of the towns my mom like worked on, and I imagine in others, they voted that no. So it's like really alive, this topic. Yes. On like people.
And in another village, construyen el monumento al lado, que es el monumento de los muertos al alba.
And in another village, this one voted no, but in another one, they had like the memorial for the dead people, soldiers, in like the good ones. And then there's another one like in the side, just like for these ones that shot to set an example at dawn. Like they are really separated. They are not considered part of these soldiers and these heroes of the country.
Mm-hmm. And another thing is estos fusilados, para dar ejemplo, han sido considerados como gente desesperada, loca, que no sabía qué hacían, pero que se ha demostrado que habían corrientes muy organizadas para desertar en grupos muy grandes.
So, and also they are always pictured like few people, individual people that were like crazy or just, like really crazy or extremist, left extremism.
Very young person.
Very young, or like they were, oh no, this one, it doesn't matter. But in fact, when you study and you like look at the facts from history, you see that they were like big peoples, they were really organized, and usually these like actions were happened in like big groups and really organized, and like in these this case, for example, they were like a big group of a lot of people going off to desert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I see. Okay.
And it's very interesting. Now, after through this letter, I investigate, and it's a very interesting topic. Por ejemplo, una chica 3 generaciones después quería ser juez, y cuando fue a examinarse, el presidente del jurado le dijo que cómo se atrevía a ser juez si su abuelo había sido un...
Yes. So another example that this is very alive today is that she knew just a girl that wanted to be a lawyer, like the big in a jury. I don't know how it is.
What is?
Juez.
Lawyer?
No.
Lawyer.
Well,
the big lawyer. What is the name?
I don't know. Well, she wanted to be a lawyer, and when she went to examine herself to like just you have to pass an exam to become a lawyer, the head of the jury said to her that how did she dare to become a lawyer if her grandfather was one of these deserters from the military.
It's a long taboo.
Yes, a taboo that
three generation. A lot of women, because it is a tribute about of these women and children was repudiated in the village, and 3 generations after exist this ¿cómo decir? Esta sensación.
Yes, it still exists, this kind of rejection from the towns and the society in general against these women.
Yeah, so it's very important to take a look at this film in an intense way, to see how contemporary it is and how important it is to talk about it and to stop these kind of actions still happening. I don't know if you make a lot of historical films, or if it is the first one. Does this motivate you to make more historical films, or would you say, okay, this was a very tough experience?
Yes. Now I'm preparing a film on the period between the wars. It's in a history about 2 girls between the 1920s and 1914s in Barcelona, and I plan to work with a lot of archive image, and it's a fiction, but with archive image. Yes. And now is in pre-production. I don't know where I finished this film. Yes.
Yeah, I see. Okay. A question which is always a little bit tough to answer, I think, but we sometimes ask it. Just if you would like to tell about it. Can you name some of your influences, because then you took the step to make to become a filmmaker? So are there any directors or any films which influenced you to make this decision?
Yes.
No en aquest short, sinó com per què vas començar, qui et va inspirar a començar a fer cine?
I'm very child when I began in the first. I made cameras with cajas de zapato.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The,
with shoe boxes.
yes.
They became cameras.
Yes. But with 10 years, I think. Mm-hmm. Yes. 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 And after a lot of directors. More important for me, the French cinema, the Nouvelle Vague, and for example, for this film, I think it's influenced to Marguerite Duras films. Mm-hmm. Yes, Hiroshima Mon Amour and India Song, and but not only filmmakers. I'm influenced about another artist. For example, I like Pina Bausch for the choreography and the pinturas, the painters and I like cinema. And for example, the neorealism, Italian neorealism, I like too, and the free cinema, the English free cinema, and I don't know, a lot of films and directors. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And is it also contemporary dance is something which you really follow, or was it just a coincidence that your actor? It seems like she's a very professional dancer as well.
Diu que si la Aida era una ballarina professional o si lo de dansa contemporània i tal, tu ja ho has fet bastants cops.
Yes, I made video dance. I like this, and normally I work with a professional dancer. Oh. But in this occasion, no? Yes, Aida, it's not a professional dancer, but I want this because I shoot with pruebas.
Different demos
for this film with professional dancer, but it's so perfect. And I want a person that not a professional for this film, and I like this. But normally my hobby is to make dance film, and in the special location. For example, in the middle of the woods.
In the middle of the woods.
And yes, I like to.
One going through the wall.
Yes. And in this shirt, it's curious because my grandfather, French grandfather, is present, but my Italian grandfather, it's present too, because is the violinist. Oh, it's an old an adult recording of my other grandfather.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you really made a good choice with her, yeah, because sometimes, if that's true, if you have professional dancers, then you have these kind of moves, and then but it really felt that she moved in a very emotional way to what the letter was about and everything, and it really fitted brilliantly with the surrounding, and yeah, okay, so
She
you're
is a
very
really
experienced.
great actress, so
Yes.
it's
Mhm.
It's a very conocida.
He's very well known in Italian and in Italy and
in
Spain.
Spain. Yes, it's a very, yes, and for me, for the most complicated in the realization of this film is the voice and the woman that encash.
They have to get together and
together,
blend together.
and que uno no se comiera al otro.
So that it was like this accurate, just with some kind of like that one didn't get in on top of the other, you know, like they just like everything
balanced.
was balanced with the same.
Yes, because the voice and the letter, it's very strong and it's very complicated. Don't cash.
No, that maybe the woman or the dancer was like just invisibilized in front of the letter, that it's more strong.
I don't want it's only an adorno.
Yes, the woman is not there to just be something cute or beautiful to see while you hear the letter, that it's all blend together, and one thing needs the other to really work.
Yeah, very well done. Yeah. Okay, that was really interesting to hear. Thank you very much to both of you for these very interesting details, and I wish you good luck for the film and also for your future projects. And would be great if you keep us updated about what happens with your future projects as well.
Thank you for your festival, and it's a pleasure for me. Yes, and okay, thank you.
All right, so all the best. Bye bye.
Bye bye.